G'day friends and fans, welcome to Dave Talk Stuff. You've probably heard 1,000 comments from 1,000 people who weren't there that the ICE killed Renee, and they'll show you the back of the van with the the federal agent going up to the window. She backs up and drives off, but they often somehow manage to clip out the other officer, the one who shot her, in self-defense after she tried to ride him over. But feminists have unleashed a tirade of untruths. How are you surprised? Now, each hour there has been more and more information. The feminists have started a Say Her Name campaign. The feminist news are trying to now claim that Renee is just the latest in a long line of victims of police violence against women. Ew! The fear-mongering, the intersectionality, feminists, of course, saying that state violence is and overreach is rampant. And I'll get to where this is all going, but there's obviously identity politics claiming that she was targeted because she was a lesbian. And of course they are playing the victimization game that because the state is so powerful, they're automatically oppressor. So we have Marxism, feminism, of course. They are linked, okay? They are the verboten politics. They are everything they claim to be. They are everything they claim you to be. They call you a Nazi not because you are a Nazi, so they could whip up a frenzy against you. Now, there are many narratives. For a fact is she's a 37-year-old who went to responding to an alert about ICE activity. She drove over there. Right? They are accusing everything they accuse you of, they are doing. That this is a narrative of their own making. This is a tragedy of her own making. She drove there. She was told to move on, and she didn't. So they said, we're arresting you now. She refused to leave. So they arrested her. Right? And then she backed up and tried to drive off, and there was an officer in front of the car. And what did Liberals say? Don't stand in front of a moving car. Well, she did an illegal turn. You're supposed to back up. And what do we say around here?
Hello, motherfucker.
Emotional, damn it.
Yeah. That and...
Screw your feminism.
Now, she tried to intervene in a federal operation, which itself is a crime. You have no rights. Okay? You are a civilian. You are not law enforcement. You are not oversight. If you have an issue with the police, you issue a lawsuit. You don't walk up and start going, I'm a Nosey Parker. I'm going to tell you what to do, officer. But that's what feminists do. Blue states encourage this. It is harassment. And there is open evidence that suggests that she was a part of an activist organization. Right? That she was part of a democratic machine. Now, what that machine was is often misrepresented. Now, one observer said, right, one official and one family member, has said that she was a legal observer. Now, this is this so-called helpful neighbor program by Minnesota State, where you stick your nose in fucking other people's business and interfere with the lawful activities of law enforcement. Now, if law enforcement is not legal, it's none of your fucking business. You are a witness and you approach the defendant's lawyer, not the defendant, their lawyer, right? You go through lawyers, courts, procedures. But of course, procedures are rules for thee, but not for these, right? And of course, where, the controversy, when all the liberal activists come out, what do we say?
Shut up!
Yeah. Remember, folks, these are the people who said nothing. These are the people who cheered Charlie Kirk and Ashley Babbitt. These are the people who said nothing about the poor white girl on the train, the Ukrainian victim of crime, right? Now, of course, by the family's account, her mother denies that she was a protester, that she was only terrified for her life. She wasn't there. How would you know? Oh, I'm her mother. And, of course, there's the liberal narrative. She was a woman. She was a mother. It's her right. She's a US citizen. She can do whatever she pleases. All right, so Donald Trump can do whatever he pleases because he's a US citizen too. Gotcha, bitch. But, however, thousands of protesters have come out, and what happened? They were violent. Oh, of course they were. Because this is all part of a colour revolution. They are trying to spur protests every day because protests spark more protests to spark more protests becomes what they call a colour revolution, where they're trying to change you going from being pro-life, pro-family, pro-God, to become a godless baby killer dyed in blue. Man, I should have changed my shirt. But what is a legal observer? Well, this is a Minnesota organization, right? However, it's national, right? She was part of a chapter of a national organization organized. These are volunteers trained by the National Lawyers Guild. These are professionals who show up at protests and march and other actions to monitor, observe actions and document them. So they're paid to appear in court and go, Rodney King did not resist arrest. He did not throw a punch at officers. And of course, they only show you the 5-second clip, not the 15-second clip where someone whipped out their phone, started recording, and as the officers approached the car. No, Rodney King was an asshole who got given money because he was black. The narratives have been building for years, folks. Feminism and Democrat politics and Marxists, they have been building, right? Trying to create a destabilization of North America, not just the United States, but of North America, to destabilize it with drugs, protests, mass actions, blocking streets, economic sabotage such as robbing ATMs, attacks on people like... there was a man who murdered his family to collect the insurance money so he could fund another attempt on Donald Trump's life. I'm not making it up. You could look it up yourself. This is what is going on. Feminism is cancer. It is robbing you of a peaceful life, right? They are interfering with your rights to defend yourself. You cannot claim provocation. You cannot claim self-defense. They are trying to box you in so that they can control you, your life, and everything around you. That they make the decisions for you. These nosy Parkers like Renee monitor you, right? They are the secret police. They are the thought police. The thought police. Yeah. And it's Renee's wife, right? She was married to a man when he died. What a shock. Renee, the widow, goes out and marries another woman. And now she's a widow Renee's son is with her former husband and is now in the care of the state until they find a family member to take care of him. But it looks like there's only a grandfather, not a mother for some reason. There appears there is an estrangement there, but that is being paved over because Rebecca and her wife previously lived in Kansas City, Missouri. Now they moved. They didn't say why. But of course they're going to say it was homophobia, of course. But a neighbor claims that she was not a terrorist or extremist. She loved her kids and her spouse and, all the usual. I've got nothing bad to say about my neighbor who probably gave her a flick of the bean now and again. But really, the wife tells a different story, right? That Rebecca had purposely gone there. She feels that it's her fault for encouraging her, right, to be more active, right? Now, Rebecca had been outside of the car confronting ICE agents. She was told to go. She got in the car. We don't know what happened because, of course, as usual with investigations, you're going to have leaks and lies leading up to the formal hearing. But she accelerated. Now, apparently, Rebecca was there confronting us. And it was her. She didn't realize that it was her wife that accelerated away down the block. That's the one who was showing on the film, on videos, crying. It's my fault, face covered in blood. She apparently raced over and they just shot my wife and all this, all this drama. But the footage clearly shows that she drove, she disobeyed. As far as I'm concerned, you disobeyed the police. I don't care if they're lawful or not. I don't have to obey lawful orders. Your order is not lawful. Who are you to say that? Okay? You're only a civilian. You're not a judge. Okay? And it takes a whole jury, not just you. You're not judge, jury, or executioner. Right? You want autonomy over your life from unwanted harm? Well, fuck you and the horse you rode in on, right? We're not going to walk around with shields and umbrellas and all these other things, making sure that you're having a happy day. Here's your happy pills. We know where this is all going. All right? This is love your servitude. Right? You will serve the feminazi. You will obey the feminazi. If they come up to you and say, "Don't arrest that man," you have to believe or will, drop everything and walk away because the almighty goddess has spoken. Now, she called herself a poet and a writer and a wife and a mom. She was originally from Colorado. Yeah, she was a fucking off a kite. Now, apparently there's only the boy's grandfather who's left. Now, again, there's so many narratives around this, right, being propped up. A lot of the mainstream media is not even mentioning this legal observer program or that she was part of it or that she had ICE tracking on her phone. Allegedly, we don't have this confirmed because the FBI hasn't spoken to that point yet. They've only been asked, was she or was she not using ICE tracker? Was she or was she not part of the Helpful Neighbor program or a legal observer? Did she present herself as a legal observer or did she start berating as shown in Portland and other actions where she's been harassing police in Minnesota? We don't know. We only have alleged footage, and going through it all, you can't tell who it is. So, and they don't give you sources to track down. But apparently, okay, there have been thousands of arrests, and there is a FBI investigation into the shooting. Now, the thousands of arrests are all about violent actions taken across America by feminists. What a surprise. It's an insurrection. And if I was Trump, I would be starting to lay the case against AOC and many others that they have encouraged violence against police, leading to this police having to defend themselves. Because if the police were not confronted by these idiots encouraged by AOC, because she suffers no consequence. She's not the one who gets shot. You are. If you believe AOC, you die. It's your fault for believing AOC. She has no morality. Why do you believe that? See you next Tuesday. Right? Hakeem Jeffries. Right? He's a stone-cold liar. He's been proven, okay? Timu Obama is a stone-cold liar. Right? And you know what should have happened a long time ago? Little Renee should have been...
You're first. You're last.
Whoops. Sorry. Wrong one. Whoops. Oh, great. Sorry. Oh.
Shut up.
Yeah. A long time ago, Renee and a girlfriend should have been told to shut up, right? That it's none of their business, okay? And if they insert themselves in the police business, right, you can be arrested, right? But no, Democrats, they want trouble. They want chaos. They want to cause as much trouble as they can for Republicans to make you scared of voting for anybody but them. That is insurrection. That should automatically disqualify them. That is terrorism. They are causing an insurrection. And of course, people believe, well, if the majority, it's not the majority. You lost the election and now you're being violent. You deserve everything that's coming. Because I've warned for years, you do not want a revolution in the United States. You don't want to turn the United States into a free fire zone. You have no idea how incredibly powerful the United States government is and can crush violent insurrections. If they wanted to win Vietnam, they could have run Vietnam. They chose not to because of the price of victory. Right? This is what Democrats are hoping for, that you don't want to pay the price of victory. This is what happened in China, right? America didn't want to pay the price of victory in China. But when it comes to the homeland, I guarantee you that there are 22 million people at least, probably more, who are going to pay the price of victory willingly. Because they got nothing to lose. They're sick of you. They're tired of you. They hate you. And it's all your fault. It's all Renee's fault. These incredible narcissists cannot be told. Okay? And there are millions of them who believe, well, not maybe millions, but at least tens of thousands who are willing to be violent every day, unwilling to work, right? Unwilling to hold normal jobs, unwilling to conduct themselves in a civil society. They always have to undermine. They always have to stick their nose into other people's business. They always have to tell you how to live their life, right? People are sick of feminists. People are sick of the Democrats and identity politics, right? They are so fed up with your lying day in, day out. Your constant harassment, calling everybody a Nazi, a bootlicker, a cocksucker, a fascist, okay? When everything you say is always projection. Remember, Letitia James, she's free because judges won't prosecute her for lying on a loan form, yet they are willing to prosecute Donald Trump and then drop the case at the last minute because they don't want to face, right? They don't want to face the truth, right? Right? That they are criminalizing mistakes or opinions, right? If you hold the wrong opinion, they criminalize it. And they keep pushing, right? The narrative was just to smear Trump to win elections. But now you have people more and more willing to be violent, willing to shoot police officers, willing to shoot ICE agents, willing to drive. And the biggest scummy thing that media do is show Renee's film in slow motion to make it look like the police had time to step back and relax. When he took a step back, they're still, right? Only one officer stood back, the other shot, right? Now they are manipulating the angles, manipulating everything, deny any evidence to the contrary, suddenly CGI, they always dismiss. It's why people are sick of liberals. They're just so willing to lie for politics. They don't believe in right or wrong. They believe in political narratives. They believe that if you're big, you must be torn down, right? They believe that they have the right to meddle in everybody's life. And a backhand is the least that they should suffer the consequences of their actions. All these foreigners they love, if they love them so much, go to their countries and live instead of bringing them here all the time. But no. Anyhow, thank you all for watching. Sorry if I got a little heated. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please support the channel. You can support me on Ko-Fi, Patreon, buy my books, buy merch. All my links in the link tree, description below, in my profile, or scan the QR code on the screen. Appreciate each and every one of you. See you in the next video, and bye for now.